hit that volume, baby.
Joey.
If you reload it, pause it, and then
A
sound.
lot of girls feel like I gotta spend a minimum $300 to be with them. I'm like,
300 what?
$300.
American dollars?
Dollars.
Please. On who? On the first date?
Yo, Chad.
For what?
You're considered a high value man. So ladies, this
High
is
value?
this. You got money?
I think high value is based on stream of income, revenue, but I am extremely cheap and financially conscious, so I don't consider myself a high value man.
And you have a lot of money.
Yes. Yes, and I'm gonna save it, which is why a $300 date ain't never happening. Because what am I paying for actually? If I'm at wit's end and I need help and I'm with you and you need a $300 date, can she save me? Can she help me? Is she an asset or is she a liability? Because anybody need a $300 date off rip is nothing but a liability. I mean, it is. Let's call a spade a spade.
I'm with you.
The women that want $300 dates, there are men out there that are going to continue to take them on it. That's why the women can always say, I'm not doing nothing but $300 a date. Because there are men that will spend $300 to reach their end goal. We know what the end goal is.
Okay. Well, Linda, the reason I'm coming to you first is because, ironically, you said $300 on the first date.
And I just like
you
put
nailed
it out
it.
there.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You're beautiful. You're a
Thank
Latina. You live in Miami. You ball out at Publix. You hear a high-value man that played in the NFL
Trader Joe's
worth
too.
millions and millions of dollars say, hell no, Linda, I ain't spending $300 on you. I would spend $1 million on you, no doubt.
Thank you.
But what's going on with Chad Ochocinco? Why is he saying that a man should not spend that kind of money, and you are basically saying a man should?
Well, with Chad, I mean, he said it. He's like, I'm frugal, I'm cheap. That's just how I am. So if that's how he is and he finds a girl that doesn't care, she can go to Starbucks, she can spend $10 in 2 coffees, then, I mean, look, I have friends who are married and very happy, whose first date was literally rollerblading, and they spend very little money. I'm not opposed to that. But I have, I've gone on dates that have cost a lot of money, and it's not necessarily because I requested it. I'm not like, you gotta spend a bottle, you gotta spend this, but like the man wanted to do that, and who am I to deny a man from buying me a $1,500 tequila bottle? Is that like, what am I supposed to do?
$1,500 tequila bottle on the first date.
You look shocked.
And does that actually do something for you? Do you feel like ingratiated to him? Do you feel like you owe him something?
No.
Because if a guy's dropping $1,500 on a tequila bottle, he's expecting something.
I've had even more expensive first dates than that the man wanted to do it.
So what happened with those dates? What happened with those dates? Like, why didn't you end up working out with that guy?
Well, because it's not just about money. Right? It's about compatibility. It's about
a
the
vibe, some may say.
Vibe, right?
The vibes.
But if somebody wants to take me out on a date, and I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what they're gonna do, but they want to show off. Like, who am I to say like don't spend your money?
Yeah, let them do whatever they want.
Right?
Let them
so?
do whatever they. What you want to do is what you want to do.
Show your true colors.
And what I've noticed, because I know like the whole red pill manosphere, is that there's like this weird like belief from men that like if a man spends money on you, then you must sleep with them, or you're like clapping cheeks, and it's just like that's not true at all.
Clapping cheeks?
No.
By the way, shout out to beating cheeks in the audience right now. What is clapping cheeks?
Well, the men like you basically sleep with them because they spend a lot of
cheeks.
money on you, and that's just not the. I mean, that's just not the reality. There's men that have so much money that it doesn't hurt them at all.
Listen,
it's like
there could be a guy that gives you nothing,
right?
But he sees you in a situation and he just sweeps you off your feet just by words,
right?
And you can have a feeling in your body where like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the money. It really doesn't, because you could spend $12,000 on a date right now and you could be a fucking asshole.
Right.
Yeah. You could be so rude,
insufferable,
and I wouldn't even want to be around you.
Sounds like you've dealt with that before, though, Pocahontas.
I have, because I'm
okay.
cute. You know, people spend money.
But
if you rude, you rude.
So you're saying that a guy spent $1,500 on a tequila, but you actually had a better date doing rollerblading on a date. By the way, fun fact.
Yeah.
Do you know for a guy the hardest part of rollerblading?
What is it?
Putting the thing.
Telling your parents you're gay. It's tough. It's tough.
Hey, it's fun.
The rollerblading stuff.
I've had
No, that was a joke, guys. It was okay.
Yeah, we got it.
I've had really fun cheap dates.
No?
What are the
You guys don't
where I just
rollerblade.
think I can't participate.
No.
Okay.
They don't
No?
take us rollerblading for
Guys
dates
ain't
anymore.
rollerblading.
No, a long
Yeah.
time ago they used to, but not anymore.
No, not cool anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish.
So I enjoy it.
It'd be
Gotcha.
fun.
I know, they don't even have fucking
Not
skating
anymore.
rinks
But where can
anymore.
you go?
Claudine, you hear her saying that a guy spends $1,500 on a first date, doesn't even get any, what'd you call it? Clapping cheeks. Shout out to Beating Cheeks in the audience. Why do you think that a man would spend that kind of money? And from your lady's perspective, if a guy spends that kind of money, what do you think he's expecting from that first date?
I don't know that I care what he's expecting.
Right.
That's his expectations.
Literally.
I think everything is relevant. You know, if somebody's spending $1,500 because they make $15 million and $1,500 is very little for them.
Yes.
If somebody trying to impress you, so they're spending their last, that's their business.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't even know this thing. Like, maybe, I don't know, I'm out of the market, but I don't think I am, but I don't know that there are women that literally say, if you don't spend $300 on my date, then I'm not going out with you. No,
Unfortunately,
Have you
there
been
are.
to Miami?
No, in this day and age, unfortunately, there are.
I don't attract those type of women, so
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Yeah, you don't even
Gotcha.
befriend those type of people. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Even
know
at my
exactly.
age, I have a lot of
I
women
can't
in
even
my
believe
generation that
he
do
just
it.
sat on there and just said that.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Ochocinco.
Why
like,
not?
It's irrelevant. Like, it's irrelevant. Has he spent that type of money? Absolutely.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
On
Should
a
he be
first date, he
spending
spent
money
more
on
a first
other
date.
things that he should be spending $300 on? He should, and he doesn't. So now, like, why is that the date thing a big issue?
Yeah.
I think ultimately what it comes down to is the following. Whether it's $300 or $500 or $1,500 or even $100 or whatever, ultimately, as we discussed, the man is paying for the first date, right? And ultimately, a man, newsflash, he's taking you on a date not only just to get to know you, but to, as you called it,
Clapping cheeks.
clapping cheeks out there. So he would like to get something, a return on his investment, as what it's called. But I think we all know
His return
that-
could be a phone call the next day.
Literally.
that's fine.
Maybe a second date.
But I think a guy would want to spend his money on something that he's what he called an asset, not a liability. It's just a free meal for the girl. We've heard many stories of girls who literally just go on dates for free meals, that's it. They bounce. So a guy has to do a stronger vetting process than women do. All right, I'm paying on the date. Let's say I'm going on a date a week or a date a month, and I'm spending $300, $500. I have to do my due diligence to make sure that I'm actually not wasting money on what would be a liability. In Miami, there's girls that are just out there for Prime 112, Joe Stone Crabs, Swan, all the nicest stuff. They're just going up for the nicest meals, nicest restaurants. And it's on a guy to decipher, is this thing worth my investment or not?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also the guy's responsibility to know the type of girl
Yeah.
they're going on a date with.
Yeah,
You
like,
can
come on, you can't
physically
just be
look at a
flying
girl and be
everywhere.
like, okay, she's expecting me to spend X amount of money on a date. I think you can definitely define some of the girls that you pick to go on a date with
I
based
think-
on their
yeah.
profile, based on their associations, based on what they
100%.
look,
She
based
said
on the things that
Swan,
they
Gecko.
value, based
Yeah.
on the conversation that you had.
You know all
you should
the
be able
good
to
spots.
prep like what type of girl you're about to go on a date with. And if you pick a girl that is an expensive date, that's kind of your choice, your
also-
problem.
that's on you.
Right.
I
If you're on
definitely
Instagram, you
recommend,
see her at
like,
all these
specific
places in
questions,
Miami,
though.
like she's expensive, then and that's a problem. Then why are you even approaching
But
her?
the guys like
'Cause she's
that.
hot.
Yeah,
Well,
so they
and that's
want
what
it.
they want.
They don't
So you gotta
even
pay
ask
for that then.
Exactly.
You gotta pay for that.
So what is the ideal number?
I mean, if they
Or
want a
is it just
hippie, go to the
circumstantial?
farmer's
I
market,
think it's
right?
circumstantial.
What's that?
If they want a hippie, they should go to the farmer's market.
That's true. Well, I don't even think, here's what I would recommend. Let's say there's an expensive restaurant. Let's say there's just a good restaurant. There's just like a cheap restaurant. I would go the middle ground. I would do like the Three Bears analogy. Not too hot, not too soft.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take her to Prime 112. I wouldn't take her to the fanciest restaurant, but I also wouldn't take her to Applebee's. I wouldn't take her to Chili's. Find a nice, cool restaurant,
In between.
preferably with a bar.
Yes.
Pull up, hang out,
bar.
have a good time, and catch that vibe. Yes?
But that's
Exactly.
also
True, it is.
depending on your social economic status, because let's say in the event that a guy has a lot of money and he literally tells you meet me at Prime 112 at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
He's
that's
taking
great.
you know what I mean? So
You're going to say yes.
right.
Of course. So
It's circumstantial.
No, I think you should
know?
take me to Applebee's instead.
Right. I want to go to
Applebee's is not an
McDonald's.
ideal first date.
I'm just
Chili's.
I'd rather
I
get
think
coffee.
Chili's is better.
It's just
Coffee.
you want to
Yeah, I'd
go
rather get
somewhere where
coffee.
you could. I mean, I don't know. You want to go somewhere where you could talk to the person, because I'm not coming on a date just to look at you and not be able to hear you and have everybody screaming in my
Yes.
ear. Like
So no
I want to go.
movies.
We could. It depends, cause I talk in the movies
Yeah, I
sometimes.
can't- I
Depends
can get
on
to
what
know you
the
at the
movie
Oh, you're
is.
that girl talking in the movies?
It depends on what the movie is. If it's not
you
me
see
telling
this?
the both of us, you're
Wait
gonna
till you
open
see
your
what
mouth.
happens
I'm
right
gonna
now.
open
Shut your
my
mouth, girl. I hear you. Okay. Well, what I'll say is this. Last piece of advice for the gentleman out there. Wherever you go, whether it's Applebee's, whether it's a nice restaurant, whether it's a high-end restaurant, don't talk about yourself. Ask the woman questions, get to know her, ask questions, talk about big concepts. Let them do the talking. A lot of guys fall into the trap of, I'm super successful, this is what I do for work, I'm an attorney, this is what I've done. I generally don't think women care about that. I think women generally want to talk about themselves. I talk about this with my good friend Michael Sartain. Women want to talk about themselves. Isn't that right, Intem?
Yes, to a degree, but we're interested in how you reciprocate it, you know, and like how what we share with you, how you bounce it off. Are you absorbing it, or do you turn it to a conversation about you, or delving deeper into who we are, why we feel the way that we do, or why it is that we believe that we do.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that.
course.
Speaking of bouncing it off, what was the thing that you said that happens on first dates?
Clapping cheeks.
Clapping cheeks. Shout out to Clapping cheeks. Sorry to go the dirty route here. Naomi, did you want to add to this?
I can tell you one thing. I work at Swan. There's definitely a certain crowd
There
and
we
expectations
go.
for women.
So she works at, just for those of you who don't know, one of the high-end restaurants by Groot Hospitality, the Fountain Blue,
David
Live,
Grumman.
Story,
David
everything
Grumman.
Grumman. At Swan, what is the type of crowd, the type of woman that you see there?
There's a lot of influencers, a lot of like high status people. Just like you can tell these women, they come in, they have expectations, which isn't a bad thing. But if you're going to a restaurant like Swan, you immediately expect something, you know, like.
What do you mean by expect something?
Expect like
from the guy and the girl.
Just like expect like not like it's not really high end, but like he's not taking you to like a crappy place.
No.
Yeah,
And it's more of like a
It's the scene.
yeah, it's definitely a scene
Yeah.
for sure.
She's not gonna pay for the bill.
Yeah.
The food,
No.
she can order as many drinks or shots as she likes.
Yeah.
Last question. Bill comes. The guy says, let's go Dutch, 50-50. How do you respond?
Oh,
You're not just going to lift your hands up like this.
Immediately no.
Jane,
I would
no?
just pay the whole bill.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a boss
Power
up it.
move right
I
there.
mean,
I would
if
boss
I'm
up and pay
there
the
and
whole
you don't
bill.
even got the money, I better
why
have
did
the
you
money because I
invite?
shouldn't be there if I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you always have the possibility of a man pulling some funny shit.
So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another. Or if you want to watch the entire SOSCAST, click right here.